Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Calboy. Now, Calboy is a rapper from Chicago, man. And he was on the XXL's freshman list. Dude has had an interesting career in the rap game so far. For a while there, he was signed to Meek Mill's Dream Chasers, and it seemed like everything was going to be up, man. I believe he was in that same freshman class from a couple years ago with Lotto and a lot of rappers that really took off, right? Well, it seems like Calboy's career has been kind of stagnant, man. There's been no place for him, even in a time where drill rap is at top, and you would think he would be able to find his way throughout the game, right? Well, Calboy has seemed to be on social media talking a lot lately, and recently he was getting into a back and forth with none other than the artist The Baby because of his relationship to King Von. Now, on his own admission, he's a cousin of King Von, and when The Baby reached out and was working with NBA Youngboy, he felt offended by that. Now, since then, cooler heads have prevailed and everybody went their own way, right? But what brings Calboy to the news today is it looks like he's wanted out there in Atlanta, man. It looks like he's wanted for aggravated battery, and the story is crazy to say the least. Now, before we break down this story and get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this story about Calboy being wanted by the police in Atlanta. Now, it looks like Calboy, like a lot of rappers in the game, has taken up residence in Atlanta. It looks like that's where he's living right now. I even think this story, it originates like in the Marietta area, but we'll see where it goes from here. Now, in the headline of this local Fox News story in Atlanta, it says this. It says, rapper Calboy wanted for aggravated battery. And then you see a picture of his mugshot right here. Now, from the headline, you can basically make out the fact that he's wanted for aggravated battery, and there was some sort of altercation, right? Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, Gwinnett County, Georgia. A Metro Atlanta rapper is wanted by police after they say he left another man with a broken leg and several other injuries. I got to thinking, I was like, man, what kind of fight did he get into to where he broke the other guy's leg allegedly? You know what I mean? Like, does Calboy know some sort of UFC, MMA type of stuff? If so, I ain't trying to mess with Calboy, but that is wild, man. It's rare that you ever hear of somebody getting a broken leg in a fight, unless, that's just rare. Now, the only way I could think of that is if you was in some UFC, MMA type of stuff, and that person was kicking and broke their leg, or somebody else kicked their leg and they broke their leg. But I'll continue. Now, the story goes on to say Gwinnett police are searching for 23-year-old Calvin Woods of Marietta, known by his rapper name, Calboy. Now, it looks like he lives in Marietta. That's where his residence is. And that's not me putting that out there. That's straight from the news story. You know what I mean? If it was anything that I found, I would leave it out. But yeah, it looks like the Marietta area is where Calboy is staying while he pursues his career in the rap game. And as you notice, a lot of rappers, especially from like Chicago, New York, even LA, a lot of cities where there might be a lot of stuff that's going on as far as crime, they gravitate towards Atlanta in order to have a base for them to, record music and to mingle in the industry, man, because Atlanta is kind of a hub for hip hop music right now. So it only makes sense. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, according to investigators, Woods attacked a man at Rabbit Hill Park on May 4th. The victim was left with a broken leg, facial lacerations, facial and torso bruises, and other injuries. Now, I'm wondering what led to this situation. Like, how did they pick Calboy to be the person? Obviously, somebody had to know him and know his name and turn it over to the authorities. But to say that he was at the park and just attacked somebody, like, what went down? Maybe he was at the park meeting somebody. I don't know, man. Anytime you hear about a park and hip-hop, they just don't go together, because especially, like, if you talk about West Coast artists or anything like that, like, parks have different, designations, I'll say it like that. People claim parks and things like that. But I don't think that this is that type of situation in Gwinnett County. Like, what could have happened at a park? Like, most parks you go to, people are walking their dog and stuff of that nature. Now, the story finishes by saying this. It says, police say Woods' last known location was in Dacula, but his current whereabouts are not known. So they're looking for him. But if they have his address and they know that he's, that he lives in the Marietta area or whatnot, I mean, eventually got to go home, right? But maybe he might be running from the situation or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he's out on tour or anything, man. But The story continues by saying this. It says, detectives ask anyone with information that may lead to locating Woods to please come forward. Witnesses are encouraged to call the local Crime Stoppers and all that, right? So they want people to reach out to Crime Stoppers in order for them to make an arrest in this situation. It looks like, regardless, Calboy's going to have to deal with this, because once you want it, like, it's only a moment of time before they grab you, you know? Those charges don't go away like that. So it's always better to probably either lawyer up and turn yourself in, especially for something like this. Now, what's crazy is he's being charged with aggravated battery. Now, aggravated battery, that could be a lengthy sentence if he's found guilty. So I'm pretty sure Calboy is weighing his options right now. And it could be he's lawyered up. He's trying to find him an attorney, somebody to represent him before he turns himself in, which would be the smart move to go by, man. As I mentioned before, man, Calboy has had an interesting path in the rap game, I should say, because dude started off like a rocket, you know, like a lot of the people who are in the XXL freshman list, they take off like a rocket. There's a lot of interest because they're on the list. And then eventually, you know, people start to fizzle out, you know, some sooner than others. And Calboy, he's kept himself relevant by, you know, taking to social media and talking about things. Like I said before, with the whole The Baby and the NBA Youngboy album versus King Von album, he talked about that. And he mentioned that King Von was his cousin. And if you listen to his IG lives, and there's a lot of them out there, you know, he's really opinionated on a lot of things, man. He talked about his fallout with Meek Mill and how that went. And it was an interesting situation, the way that him and Meek Mill fell out, because it seemed like they weren't clicking from the gate. Like, I wonder how they even got together and he ended up signing to Meek Mill, because it just seemed like they never clicked. Like they were on two different planes as far as where he wanted to take it with his career. But this is definitely a bump in the road. But what's wild is, okay, dude got a broken leg in this situation. And Calboy, you know, obviously took off and left the scene or whatnot. But what could have led up to this? I just want to hear the story from Calboy of how this dude got a broken leg in a one-on-one fight. Like, was it a pack-out situation where a whole bunch of people jumped the dude and Calboy's name is the only name that he knew? Or was it a situation where they just got to tussling and Calboy just knows that stuff and just broke his leg somehow and gave him bodily bruises? But from the description that they gave of all the bruises on his body, it sounds like it might have been a pack-out type of situation, a.k.a. the dude getting jumped. But we'll see how this plays out. Now, with that, what do you guys think? Do you think Calboy was out here really jumping on people, you know, and breaking their legs and stuff? Or do you feel like there might be more to this story than we know, and we'll just wait for the details to come out? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.